Welcome back, guys. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to the match preview of our upcoming game tomorrow at 5:30 PM UK time against Watford. With Watford, yes, statistically and on paper, they should be very easy opponents. They haven't won a single game this season, 5 losses, 5 draws, but with Watford and it being a London derby in that sense, they are going to pose those difficulties. In today's match preview, I'm going to talk about the press conference. I'm going to give my thoughts on the predicted lineup I think Lampard is going to pick in tomorrow's game. And to end things, of course, I talk all things tactics, so make sure you guys stay to the end and don't miss out. Now, I quickly want to say, you guys, if you haven't pressed the bell notification button, please press that. It's been a minute since I've last said that, but recently the views have been going down a bit. I'm hearing from people that no one's even getting the notifications, and this is where YouTube gets really frustrating. I put a lot of effort and time in my videos, so when YouTube aren't even putting those videos out to people, it gets really annoying. But one thing that is not annoying is the OneFootball app. If you guys want to download the OneFootball app, it's the best time to do it now. I'm constantly stressing, get the app before every match day. It's convenient, it's useful. If you haven't got it yet, why not test it out and see how you find it? I guarantee you'll love the app in the end. I was the same way. At first, I was a bit cynical, but with more exposure to the app, you realize it's got so many great details. So if you guys want to get the app, you'll find it in the link in the description below. We kick things off starting with the press conference, with Lampard confirming that Rudiger and Kante won't be playing against Watford. When it comes to Kante, Lampard told us that Kante may be fit for the game against Ajax. He's still 50-50 right now. Let's hope and pray that Kante is going to be fit and available. This team is missing out on him. When he comes back, he's going to improve us exponentially. So hopefully that's going to be the case. And in regards to Rudiger, Lampard said that he is going to get tested for a pelvic issue. And personally, you guys, I'm starting to worry a little bit in regards to Rudiger. It seems like he's always close to returning back to fitness and something keeps stopping him. So hopefully he does recover. And to move on, we move on to Ross Barkley and Christensen. With Lampard confirming that both players are now fit, but both players are not match fit, which is a big difference. So it means that we are going to have a stronger squad. So the positive is, for the upcoming Christmas period, it seems like Lampard may have a lot of players returning back from fitness, and we know how congested that period is. So many games coming thick and fast. If Lampard has a full squad to work with, it's really going to help us out during that period. Lampard was asked about Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi, stating which player deserves to play over the other. Lampard flipped this question by saying, why aren't we talking about Pedro or Willian? But Lampard's stressing that there's competition for places, and that's something he likes. He likes that because it keeps players on their toes, and it means that if players are on their toes, they're going to maximize their performances and look to play better. And to end this press conference, Lampard spoke about how important this week is going to be before the international break comes, and I understand where he's coming from. These are all winnable games, and once that international period's over, touch woods, God forbid any more injuries happen to any of our players, we could be in a very good position going into the Christmas period with a lot of players returning back to the team. Anyway, you guys, they're the most important points made in the press conference. Let's move straight on to the predicted lineup for today's video. How can I forget? If you do like today's video, don't be a pagan. Smash that like button, help me get over 1,500 likes for today's video. Now we can finally move on to the predicted lineup part for today's video. Now for this section, I've gone for 2 possible formations, us using a 4-2-3-1 and us using a 4-3-3. Now for the 4-2-3-1 formation, as you guys can see, I've gone for Reece at right back with Azpilicueta at left back. Now the reason why I say this is that, as I watched that United game again, I got different perspectives. I kind of realized to myself, wow, Marcos Alonso looks exhausted. He looks tired, and when you think about it, he's been consistently playing for a while now. We've been playing games like every 3 days now, yet the games are starting to pile up thick and fast. So I can understand why Alonso might be losing match fitness. Even that tackle he made to give the penalty away, it kind of looked like a tired tackle. So for tomorrow's game, I need to see Reece at right back, Aspi at left back, And in the final third, is it going to be Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi? Well, I think Lampard is going to go for Hudson-Odoi. I don't know what it is, but I kind of get the small impression that maybe Lampard doesn't fully trust Pulisic just yet. Again, I'm not seeing Pulisic in training, who knows, but I do think that he will have a very good impact in the game regardless of whether he starts or comes off the bench. And the rest of the team is pretty standard, so for that reason, we move on to the second formation, and I've gone for a more ambitious 4-3-3. But the difference is I have Reece playing in midfield. Now, the reason why I've done this is that I'm looking at Jorginho and Cover, and Lampard said himself that, he had to use Jorginho and Cover in that game against Man United because he doesn't have any midfield options. And I'm thinking to myself, imagine if Cover or Jorginho picks up an injury. And don't worry, you guys, I'm touching with this entire time. I'm not going to jinx anything, but imagine if that happens. We're going to be really bad in midfield, and against a team like Watford, who are at the bottom of the table, as I keep stressing, not a single win this season. Maybe Lampard may feel like it's worth taking that risk of using Reece in midfield. And if you use Reece in midfield, ideally he's playing that N'Golo Kante role. He's played in midfield time and time again. I'd feel confident with him playing in that position. And on top of that, we know that Reece has a very powerful long shot, so he could even utilise that against Watford. If Reece was to play in midfield, this would imply that Alonso and Assi would play as fullbacks again. And I'm thinking, okay, hypothetically, if Lampard did go for this formation and this team, I guess the plan would be to start the game like this, and then when it gets to the second half, revert back to using a 4-2-3-1. Still, you guys, that's how I see the team being with tomorrow's game. In the comment section below, give me your thoughts and opinions. Tell me your team lineup. Make sure you guys give me the reasons why as well. Now, to complete today's video, we end things with the tactical segment. Now, in tomorrow's game, I can imagine that Watford are going to be really annoying opponents. Expect them to be a 5-4-1 off the ball, with Pereira moving back into midfield. And the whole plan from Watford, as we've seen from teams around their level of standards, is to really defend deep with low blocks, and of course to congest and pack those central areas. So obviously guys like Cleverley, Pereira, Nate and Decore will move back, and the plan is to minimize the spaces between the lines. Now, you guys are constantly going to hear me talk about between the lines for every single tactical video. It's how we play, and it's the most important area of the field to really close down, because when you do that, it means that you can keep your defensive positioning and your defensive balance. And of course, with Watford creating 4 midfield, their plan's going to be to outman us in those areas. But of course, we can find solutions against that, and we actually saw that in the second half against Man United. In the first half, our passing was really tepid and slow and, very short. Every pass was like 5 yards to opponents, and no one was making runs in behind. We weren't utilising the spaces out wide. But in that second half, you guys, we saw that Lampard had told the team to play more cross-field balls to catch Man United's defensive positioning out. So of course, you guys, the plan to beat Watford tomorrow is to continuously, non-stop, play quick passes from right to left, and by doing that consistently, we'll hope to drag Watford players out of these areas here. And I really feel, the positioning of the wide players, in a Willian for example and Hudson-Odoi, if they can play in that half space, they can help take Watford's wing backs out the game. Guys like Messina and Yamat would have to deal with these guys. And of course, with Mason Mount, who's really effective playing in the hole, he's really good at finding positions out wide, especially in the half space. Let's say the ball's down that left-hand side here with Hudson-Odoi. Mason's moved down to the left-hand side to help link up with him. He can help take Decore out the game, and this will then free up space in these areas here for Azpilicueta to make runs into. And that's what I really want us to see tomorrow. I want to see us play these passes quickly. Quick movement of the ball is the most important thing to catch out Watford in tomorrow's game. Watford aren't going to be easy. Even though they haven't won a single game this season, it's not as if they're getting beat 4-5-0 at every game. Their defensive positioning is still really good. They're still hard to break down. Watford's issue is that they can't really create attacks because they're flooding so many men back. yet they can't really have the legs to move forward in the final third to help create opportunities. So this means that Deulofeu is going to be quite isolated at times during the game, and I feel confident that Tomori and Zuma will be able to easily deal with any threats posed from the player. But you guys, to wrap up this point, of course we want to see our fullbacks moving forwards. To wrap up the tactical segment, I'm really hoping that Reece is going to play in tomorrow's game, and Azpilicueta as well. As I was saying before, I think Marcus is a bit tired, and I think with Azpi at least, you know, let's say at times he doesn't push forwards, this is going to give license for Tomori to, you know, leave his defensive line and push into midfield. We've seen when we play a back three system that Tomori does do this quite a lot of times. And to be honest, you guys, I would not be surprised that if we are going to use Azpi as a left back in tomorrow's game, don't be surprised to see us be a back three for a majority of the game against Watford. And of course, as I've stressed, they have no real attacking threat, and this is where we can focus more on creating those runs in behind to disorganise Watford's defensive shape and balance. But anyway, you guys, my score prediction for tomorrow's game is a 3-0 win. I'm sorry, I need to see a clean sheet. No excuses. Zero excuses in tomorrow's game. We're good enough to do that. We need to concentrate and keep that focus from the first minute to the last minute. And on that note, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm NiniFC. This is Blue Lions TV. Signing out.